a trip to Karuizawa in the winter. Karuizawa is 70 minutes from Tokyo by Shinkansen, a tourist area with very easy access. In winter, Karuizawa has many activities in which you can casually enjoy the abundance of nature. There are also romantic lights in various areas of the town. There are many spots you will want to upload to the SNS. Come and have experiences you can only get in Karuizawa during the winter.
And greetings from Miyota, Japan. I'm glad you're joining us today because we've got some really important games. We're at the business end of the competition. It is the World Curling Tour Japan New Year Curling in Miyota. And our feature game today is Yumi Suzuki of Tokyo taking on Miyu Ueno of Karuizawa. And big game for both of these teams. And we'll just stand by, wait for the player introductions, and have a little wave there at our Japanese commentary counterparts. Hans Fraunlob here, along with Dave. And Dave, what do you think, buddy? I think we've got an interesting game ahead of us today.
I certainly do. I mean, we have both teams here that are looking to give themselves a shot moving forward, depending on how the tie breaks work out and the game on the other sheet. So definitely some stuff worth watching today on both sheets.
There we see the players being brought onto the playing field. Cozy little 3-sheeters here in Miyota, and 2 sheets actually being used for the competition. The third sheet, we've got spectators, and so everybody is really close to the action. But it looks to me like the competitors are having an absolutely great time. I've been keeping an eye on some of the social media from some of the teams. Looked like Team Strauss spent the day in Karuizawa yesterday and looked like they had a great time. So what's not to like? Curling at the New Year's.
Curling in general is fun, of course. I think that's why we all liked it, especially the community atmosphere. And it's good to see that even at a higher level that the teams enjoy getting out and seeing new areas that they're competing in.
Teams are being introduced, and fantastic. You'll love to see personalities shining through. Everybody's happy to be here.
That's one thing I certainly noticed watching this. There's been so many smiles. And, regardless of what their records are, and, some of the teams have had a better go of it than others, of course. But they're all having such a tremendous time because it's been such a great event thus far, and it's such a great community event.
And now Team Ueno being introduced. It's terrific. Lineup for Team Ueno. Miyu Ueno's at skip. Ayuka Kenai is at third. Yunko Nishimuro is at second stone, and Yumi Ueno is playing at lead. In the lineup for Team Suzuki, Yumi Suzuki is at skip. Akigoto is at third. Kyoka Kuromitsu is at second stone. And Miho Fujimori is at lead. I'm with Dave Schmel. And Dave, life in the USA, how's the New Year's preparations going on over there in that part of the world?
Definitely getting exciting here. I'm located just outside of Philadelphia myself, and they have the barge set up in the Delaware River by Penn's Landing, ready to shoot off the fireworks. We're going to have fireworks there. And over at the Art Museum, the Philadelphia Museum of Art is probably commonly known to our viewers and listeners as where the Rocky Steps are.
Ah, that's awesome. Have you ever run up those steps, Dave?
Yeah,
it's a tourist thing, I think, right?
It's a tourist thing. That's something you're ashamed to admit that you would actually have ever done. I've walked up them.
I'd probably make it halfway up and cark it, really, as we see Team Ha being introduced. Both sheets rather, in action here. That's great. Wherever you are in the world, it's been an interesting, pretty challenging 2023, and we're on the cusp of a new year, a new start. And we're glad you're along enjoying curling with us. We're in the afternoon in Miyota, and coming up tonight in Japan is New Year's Eve.
Well, that's great. We're going to get to celebrate it a couple times, watching curling and then doing it again.
Exactly right. That's a good way to think about it.
Absolutely. And we do have our chat on here in the background if anyone has any questions or anything. If we see something that we think we can answer, we certainly will.
Yep, always happy to hear from curling fans and really fans of sport. Absolutely. Bring them on. Ask us anything. It's New Year's Eve. Answers could get interesting. I promise you we're not into the New Year's Eve beverages just yet. 8-end game, very important game. Team Suzuki playing the Red Stones. Team Ueno playing the Yellow Stones.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting, Hans, to see how aggressive each of these teams begin with it, especially since it has importance for both squads here to see who decides to be aggressive first. Who's going to take that first venture into the water?
No, that's exactly right. And one thing as well about playing in this facility in Miyota now, all the games, of course, have been played on these two sheets. And so now, third day in, both teams are going to have a really good idea about where all the little variations are and how the rocks are running. So exactly right, Dave. One aspect is how aggressive are you going to get, but you're doing that now really well informed with what the ice is going to give you.
And right here we get to an interesting shot because we found that curling towards that barrier between the sheets has been a little bit interesting thus far, and we're trying to take out right off the go.
Fujimori going way out to the wing and not going to get there. So, as Dave pointed out, tricky spot. And good chance now for Team Ueno to split the rings.
And so this is one of those situations where it didn't look like either team wanted to necessarily generate a tremendous amount of offense now, but anytime you're presented with an opportunity to score a deuce, it's always welcoming. So Ueno is going to go for it.
So I'm going to go deepish in the rings into the back 8 foot, but nice shot.
So
Old
we
school
see here
Ken Watson curling, right?
Split the house. Split the house, absolutely. Now we see here you might be inclined to go after the wide one again just because it's higher up in the house and work your way over towards the other stone. But I think this is the much safer and more predictable call, and they'll try to work their way over from the middle. But they're on it pretty hard.
Gyokukura Mitsu, and that one over curls. We have seen outside in a lot of movement on that intern side, and so Team Suzuki fighting the line a little bit here in the early going, but a great opportunity here for Team Ueno. They've got last rock here in the first. Chance to cash in multiple right off the bat. Junko Nishimuro. Don't really want to leave this one short of the rings. Sweeper's doing everything they can to drag it onto the paint. Oh, and that is very, very nice brushing.
Absolutely.
It's one where you go to your teammates and say, thank you, you made the shot for me.
And they can buy them a New Year's beverage a little bit later.
Exactly right. You're entitled, absolutely entitled to say you owe us one. After that kind of sweeping effort, great job. See how wide those stones are spread out around the rings, and no doubles anywhere, really. No really sensibly makeable ones anyhow. Great separation.
And now we're taking a run at it from the other turn.
All right, so now Team Suzuki have found the range and get a very nice roll into the back 8-foot. That might be partly behind that front stone. There's a good look at it from the hack end, and yes, nearly half buried. Very nice shot. Nishimuro will try to dig that one out if she can. Now sweeping for curl. So by the guard. I think she's going to get a piece. I'm not sure if she's going to hang around, but she does remove the stone, and they lie too. Nice shot.
They definitely did a good job there, and gonna attempt to take on this one on the top and try to stay on the rings. Hopefully roll on for shot. There's a odd chance that you could get a lucky slash there.
Akigoto. Ooh, watch out.
Oh,
Barely went down. Nice save.
That's a good save. Good save indeed, and I think it's very close for shot.
It is very close for shot. See the smiles on the sweepers. The teammate helped her out. Nearly went down, and a bit of a shoulder catch there. Kept her upright.
I generally just sweep them out of the way.
Yeah, I said, I think in one of the games yesterday, your instinct when you're sweeping, if you kind of lose your balance, personal safety doesn't come into it at all, does it? It's just avoid the rock. Whatever you can do, avoid the rock.
Absolutely. You have to try to save that shot.
Nose hit, but that one has crept out of the rings now. So, chance really, it was looking like a potential 3. But if Team Suzuki can pick this one off, roll back towards the center, that really changes the whole end around. Front stone is close and it is potentially splittable, so they will want to stay in the rings. Akigoto. Going way out in the wings, and that is a tough get. We've seen that path happen twice now in this end.
And now they're going to take on that split, it looks like, Hans.
Yeah, well, I think, why not in this situation? You don't really want it in the center. Your opponent might be able to use it, so I think it's a great call to play that split now.
And with it this high dead on the center, you have a lot of weight to work with, too, if you hit it right.
Yeah, that's why another reason I like the call, Dave, is you do have those options. Bad line, you back off, you just go around. You can bump it straight back, make the split. Yeah, not bad. Didn't get the delivered stone onto the rings, but they are lying too, and still reasonably good separation. Give that about a 3 out of 4, I think. So
Yeah, you see
cross
them
house
here.
double possibility, isn't there? But I mean, it's really flat.
It is really flat. They're definitely choosing to stay away from that in turn, because we've seen both teams struggle with it just a touch there.
Another look at that attempted split. So Yumi Suzuki going right up the middle here. This turn reasonably straight. And she does get that roll. No contact, but she closes it up really nicely. That's a good shot.
And that was really that was really the more sensible play to make. Trying to fire off that double. There's if you ever flash it when you're just trying to give it that extra mustard, you're going to be back in trouble again. So you take the weight down, you bring your sweepers back in play, and you get the skip, and the brush is something to work with.
Miyu Ueno prepares to deliver her first stone of the match. On its way. We've seen a few down this path now, and Team Ueno have figured it out. They don't want this one to roll out of the rings, though. Oh, wow, that is a great result.
That is incredibly steep now.
And Team Suzuki, they've had enough of trying to get at that one on the wings. They're just going to ignore it and play the stone in the back ring instead.
Yeah, concede the deuce here and move on. It's count your blessings that you didn't end up giving up 3 here.
Yes, indeed. Yumi Suzuki. Curling fans, of course, are aware that this is not the Yumi Suzuki that is a member of Team Fujisawa. This is a Yumi Suzuki from Tokyo. Makes the hit, rolls away. Now do you try the split? They're saying, yeah, why not? Go for it. I like it.
Yeah, there's not too much harm in it, and the angles are quite favorable again.
Stone a little bit further off the rings now, but definitely makeable. And lots of house to use here.
They must really think that swing's a good deal, because they're taking a good 3 feet of ice there, which is definitely generous, because you're probably going to be throwing this back 8, back 12 weight to move it there. So got to be careful here. You don't get too cute here and flash everything.
Yeah, that's a real skill in the first end of the game when you're throwing draw the button and really your first big point scoring shot. You're having to think back ring and be pretty accurate with it. They are sweeping for curl now, but not going to get contact, I don't think. So now they're backing off and just settling for the pair. Very good weight. And it is a score of 2. So Team Ueno put a 2 on the board in the first end.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual letter lamps. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at letterlamps.com.
Welcome back to Miyota. WCT Japan New Year Curling in Miyota 2024. It is New Year's Eve in Miyota. Team Ueno with a 2 in the first end. Off to a very good start.
Absolutely.
I'm up here with Dave Schmel. Dave, what do you think about this game in the early going?
Well, yes, I mean, Team Ueno got that deuce as a result of some unfortunate misses from Team Suzuki there. And both teams, still feeling out the ice a little bit. It's just the misses were, for Team Suzuki, were a little bit more full misses, whereas Ueno's were half misses. And therefore, they end up with the deuce. So it'd be good to see if Suzuki can settle on in here and find their legs.
Team Suzuki playing the Red Stones. Come into this game 1-2. Their victory was over Kotoka Sagawa. And they've had losses to Team Ha and Team Nakamura. But all of their games have been close. Trying to hold the line here. It's going to spill and go spilling across the top and out of the rings. Ten teams in the competition, split up into 2 pools of 5. We play a 4-game round robin. So this is the final round robin game for both teams, and top 2 from each group will go on to the semifinals tomorrow. Team Nakamura have already booked their place in the semifinals, so you hope they don't get too much of an enthusiastic start on New Year's Eve, but their round robin is done. But they've got games to play tomorrow. Stone comes to rest right on the pin.
Yeah, the weight just as they drew up there. It does leave back this potential double takeout.
Stone on its way. Kyokakura Mitsu watches intently. No double takeout, but she does stick around edge of the forefoot. Miyu Ueno will be content just to trade hits if she can get away with that for the rest of the end. Just clips it and it's going to spill, and that's going to go out of the rings. So maybe a little bit of a let-off here for Team Suzuki.
And now they're going to go after that one in the back of the rings. No guards in play here.
Yeah, very much keeping the blank open here is an option. You'd have to be a bit frisky to think about freezing the back and try to generate a 2 out of this. So content enough just to play the hit. As you said, Dave, just kind of stabilize here and get themselves into the game comfortably. Nose hit, nice shot. Dave, you mentioned the chat. I'm keeping an eye on the chat as well, and we appear to have some fans here from the USA. Nobu is here from Miyota.
I saw Montana represented.
Fantastic. Glad you're with us.
So this club is located very close to Nagano, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's right. It's in the same area as Nagano. This rink was built right around the time of the 1998 Nagano Winter Olympics. One of the first curling halls in Japan. It's about an hour away from Karuizawa, which is in turn about an hour away from Nagano, but yep, definitely up in this area. Beautiful, beautiful part of this beautiful country.
I am looking forward to my visit in May.
Well, yeah, Dave, we've talked a little bit about that. I've been fortunate enough to be to Japan a number of times, and I know you're going to love it. Looking to draw just past T line here. It's going to come to rest pretty much squarely on the tee. Nice draw weight. Good chance here for Team Suzuki just to kind of dial that draw weight in.
And also at the same time, you're making them throw a hit in a different area of the sheet. Very interesting here because they took the ice right in the middle of the stone.
Yuka Kenai. Able to keep that one straight, and a very nice little dance job there by Nishimuro to keep out of the way.
Like a gazelle.
Yeah. Gazelles on ice, though. A bit tricky. So play moving right along here in end number 2. Nothing in play. Akigoto. Trying to find her draw weight, although this one looks like it's smoking. We'll go through the rings.
So a good chance to try to bank some time for both teams here and line up that draw weight, as you said, Hans. Important to have a feel for that moving forward. Suzuki's content with the blank. So still a little early in the match to be worried about even odd end.
I agree, Dave. Play some shots, simple shots, bank a bit of time. Team Ueno came into this game 2-1. They had a very impressive 8-2 win over Team Ha from Korea. Suffered a 6-2 loss to Team Nakamura. They had a 9-2 victory over Team Segawa.
Wasting no time having the broom down here for the hit. I expect this to come with just a bit of pace. Yeah, pretty straight.
Coming this direction. Sweepers don't seem too concerned with it. Nice job. And there we can see the target line being put right in the center of the stone.
Yep, 0 ice.
Yeah, when you find straight patches, it is really a test of the line of delivery, really, because really kind of no excuse for missing it if you slide straight and release straight. But if you don't, you get found out pretty quickly.
Oh, there's an old ice maker saying that says that people who can't swim shouldn't blame the water.
No, that's true. But, as I said, I've played on a bunch of different ice conditions over the time. Last rock coming up here, a blank attempt. Final stone of end number 2. Yumi Suzuki's going to try to peel this one out. But yeah, when you've got little, dicey patches, it does really expose little things that you can get away with some flaws in your delivery sometimes when there's a lot of swing in the ice, but when it's straight, you can't. But that is a perfect peel. Blank in for Team Suzuki. They got the job done. They will keep last rock into the third. Team Ueno lead it 2-0.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
A trip to Karuizawa in the spring.
Nice.
Is that an onsen tail? Oh, sorry.
And welcome back. We are in Miyota. It's New Year's Eve. And where else would you rather be on New Year's Eve than out here curling? Team Ueno with a 2-0 lead. Team Suzuki blank the second. They've got hammer here in the third. Hans Brown up here along with Dave Schmel. Bit early to say Happy New Year's, Dave, but not that early. New Year's Eve in Miyota.
Well, I'll take it. Happy New Year's, huh?
Indeed. I'm even a little closer to New Year's Eve where I am, so we're all getting ready to ring in the new year in different parts of the world.
Yeah, well, it looked
hiding a corner.
Absolutely. It looked like we had that blank in last, and it looks like both teams are ready to unbuckle a little bit and get into it. So
let's get it on.
Right, with the two guards up and that one half buried. That's really a nice spot because it's tough. It's going to be tough to stick, and you're going to have a tendency to roll out. You can get the good roll to the side there. That's good. Ultimately, if you had your druthers, you'd love to roll underneath your guard, but where that ended up denied them that option.
Yeah, stone is in a very good place.
So it looks like we're looking at a freeze possibly or a come around.
Miyu Fujimori being asked to play this delicate shot. Good spectator crowd on hand. Great to see in Miyota. The community has really embraced this event. This one's got a lot of curling to do, sweeping for curl, but it's going to scoot by and head for the hack. So Team Ueno looks like they're just going to cap it up.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a great call here. Try to force the action and take the power of the hammer away from Suzuki and get them chasing earlier.
Nishimuro. I'd like to leave this one as high as they can. Don't really want to set up a double off, but now it's going to the audible. We're going to go around instead of throwing it short. Hides a corner. Not what they were looking for, but not a bad result either. Double might be there across the top, but it'll have to be pretty thin.
I don't know how much you get them both to go. I think this is the more sensible play here.
Yeah, the center stone is the danger stone for Team Suzuki, no doubt about that. Even if you nose, you're probably going to have something good happen. Koremitsu does hit it on the nose, which is the Yellowstone. Fujimori waving it with her brush, trying to encourage it to leave the house. It was going nowhere. Like a bad house guest, doesn't want to leave. Had it all the way.
Yeah, just couldn't wish it to get on out of there. So here taking on that wide path again. We saw a lot of late curl here, so this has really been about weight management on this turn.
Junko just threw down this path, so she should be able to make the adjustment. This one's still got some heat on it, though. Once again, going to come into the rings. This time trying to get a weld freeze. Almost. Tiny bump. Just couldn't quite dial back the weight. 3 rocks in the rings, though, for Team Ueno, and definitely setting up for a potential force here, maybe more. Big shot coming up here for Team Suzuki. Need to rearrange things here a bit.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking on the long run here.
Kyoka Kurumitsu having another go at the run. Actually went a little bit over the top. Looks like they misread the line just slightly. They did get rid of that center guard, though, so that does open things up for them.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. And especially it also kicked their corner guard out, which was going to prove to be annoying probably later in the end.
Ayuka Kanai. This team made a bit of a lineup change back in October. Ayuka was throwing 4th stones, but they decided at that point to make a little bit of a change, and now Miyu is throwing 4th stones. Guard staying very high, but right on the center line. Covering, let's say 2/3.
Yeah, so interesting decision here. You can certainly make a case for ripping that guard. But I'd be inclined to try to dig it out a little bit at this point and start to populate it a little bit with it. It's so high, and there's been enough curl on this line that I really don't think it's a tremendous factor.
I think you're right, Dave, and I think that's exactly what they're trying. Akigoto. There should be late finish here. We've seen it all week. Gonna get a piece. Had a lot of weight. Maybe too much weight for the shot, but does remove the stone. Rolls out of the rings. Team Ueno saying, let's put it right back. So I can't believe it didn't curl.
Yeah, I call this series of shots shampoo mode. Lather, rinse, and repeat.
I'm convinced that those instructions on a shampoo bottle are just entirely to get you to buy more shampoo. Why would you repeat? Buy the guard. This one, though, it's got a lot of gas on it. Not sure it's going to stick around. It's going to be close. And just through the rings, and they're going to kick it off, so it is out of play. So that lets Team Suzuki off the hook, and now they can maybe switch gears a bit. They've got a couple of options. They could ignore the stone in the rings, go around the center guard. They could play the stone in the rings, and they can roll to the center. Pretty unlikely they could get the outside roll.
Based on how straight that line has run for the last several days, I think the outside roll would be really tough. So rolling to the middle, I think, is the only option that's plausible.
Yeah. I agree. I think if you wanted to use the corner guard, you'd have to play the red run. And that's taking on a little bit more risk than might be necessary. This one, bit of a helicopter handle on it. Lots of rotation. Quiet weight. Very well controlled. And that heavy rotation handle carries that roll right over to the center line. That's a nice shot.
Yeah, that's the result when you have that extra rotation on there. You'll get some more action when the rocks strike, and depending on the running bands and stuff, you'll squeeze a little bit more roll out of it.
So Team Suzuki with last rock here in the third, lying 1. Have another look at this hit and roll. Probably hit a corner of it behind that long center guard. There's a good look at it, just the faintest corner hidden. Miyu Ueno, trying to pick that out. Going down this tricky little patch on this outturn side.
And this
got a
looks
lot of
straight
curling
on.
to do.
This looks straight.
Yes, once again, scorched by that straight turn. Talked a little bit earlier about that exposing any little flares. I don't say she threw that one badly, but they're sure not going to come back.
And she knew it right out. Yeah, she knew it right out of her hand, Hans. You could see it on her face.
Yeah, well, that's one thing, I think is so important in life, not just in curling, is honesty, right? So if you threw it bad, fess up. Threw it bad. Some teams, especially when they're kind of judging draw weight, player will let it go and think, and say, it's pretty good. When in their heart, they know they're 5 feet light. Better to just say, I'm 5 feet light. And that's the information that the sweepers need out of hand. Good opportunity here for Team Suzuki now to get one around that center guard, and they can wrap one here. And all of a sudden, a 3 is on the cards just out of nowhere. Yumi Suzuki. Fujimori and Kuromitsu on the brushes. They like the weight. Trying to leave it high in the house to get protection, I think. It's actually over curling now. Corner hidden, though, behind that center guard. Bit of a teaser for Team Ueno. You might think you can double them off, but I don't think so.
I do think it's there. I certainly think it's there. You are going to flirt with that line that just burned you, and that's always going to be in the corner of your thoughts.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Dave. You make a little adjustment, think, okay, I was flared that one the last time. And you subconsciously start it, and all of a sudden you crash the corner or the center guard, and you're giving them a draw for 3. So it's a very delicate spot here.
With all that said, I agree. With all that said, there's not much of a really good alternative.
Exactly.
You could try to throw a heavy freeze down, but I don't really think that's going to do you too much good. It still brings 3 in. Even a half shot here, you're only going to give back a deuce.
Miyu Ueno sends it on its way. Not laying a brush to it yet. Again, well clear of that guard. No double takeout across the top, so it will be a draw for 2.
Yeah, it still ran straight on there.
Yeah, that's why, I don't want to be wise in hindsight, but it just, because it runs so straight there, it just didn't feel makeable, that double takeout. But you got to make a play. You have to have an attempt. Now, this track will be interesting because we've seen throughout the week, the wider you get on the sheet, sometimes there's a little ridge there, and it will just run straight and it will not curl at all. So let's see if Yumi Suzuki can navigate the path into the rings to cash in her pair. Well, just one sweeper, kind of heavy cleaning it here, so I think the sweepers like the weight. And why not? This is absolutely perfect. Right to the forefoot using her own backing, and there is a pair for Team Suzuki. So we expected a good game. We have got a good game. We are tied up at 2 in Miyota.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
匂い感じないですけど。
ハーブみたいな匂い。
もう本当に綺麗なんですよ。
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
And welcome back to Miyota. Terrific game we've got going on here. Yumi Suzuki and Miyu Ueno are deadlocked at 2 as we play the 4th end, Team Ueno, with Last Rock here in 4. Very well worked 2 for Team Suzuki. Last game of the round robin for both teams. Super important, obviously. Trying to get themselves into the semifinals tomorrow. The equation for Team Ueno is pretty straightforward. Win and they are in. For Team Suzuki, it's a bit more complicated. They, of course, need the win, but that will put them into a 2-1 tie with a number of other teams, and so tie-breaking formulas come into play, but they're trying to keep themselves alive as well. And we get to enjoy it, Dave.
Absolutely, Hans. You know, for both teams, it's just, you just have to do your job here and try to win the match, and then you can say you've done your best, and whatever the tiebreakers are, they are. Just have to take care of your own business. Don't worry about what anybody else has to do.
Play in the rings here early in the 4th.
Well, that last end got a little complicated for both teams. I think both teams, sensing the importance of this match when they are getting in situations, are taking their time looking at it. So I think they're looking maybe to take a little breath here and go up and down once.
8 in games. So we're approaching the halfway point of this match. Nose hit for nose hit as the stone creeps ever higher in the rings. Nose hit here may not get onto the rings.
Yeah, I'll need a little bit of a skosh of a roll if you want to stay onto the rings. But leaving your own guard there is not bad.
I agree. Might even be preferable to being on the rings, but this one looks like it's going to roll out of play. And Nishimuro hits and rolls out. So we've got nothing but rings and stickers here to look at. No stones in play.
So we were speaking in the last match that we worked together, Hans, about how well supported this event was by the community, and was actually crowdfunded. The purse money, about 2.2 million yen worth, collect it by donations alone.
Yeah, it's just a great, great story. And yeah, well worth repeating because this small town, and it is a small town, Miyota, it is really a big community effort, including, as Dave Schmel just told us, crowdfunding the prize money.
I mean, that is absolutely fabulous. I know at our club we had to bring in 32 teams and show them a good time, feed them, and put them through varying states of broomstacked to get that kind of money.
No, it's really, really good, and shows that this town really embraces the sport, loves the sport, and this facility, a big part of the community. And we're grateful to the good people of Miyota for organizing this tournament. And the other thing that I love about this tournament, I've said it a few times, but I'm going to say it again, just the novelty factor. You're starting the tournament in 2023 and you're going to finish the tournament in 2024. You have New Year's Eve in the middle of the tournament. I mean, how cool is that?
I mean, it's really great. I mean, all these teams are going to be able to say with their next game that they're curling at 100%.
Yeah, and they're also going to be able to say, I played in the longest spiel ever. Lasted 2 years. Hits and rolls to the wings. So again, this end percolating towards a probable blank attempt.
So this club is located close to Mount Osuma, which is a very active volcano. Actually erupted twice in 2015.
Yes, Osama is a mountain that's quite revered in this part of Japan. Some real spiritual elements to that mountain. Clips and spills. In fact, one of the Shinkansen lines is named Osama in honor of the mountain.
I am looking forward to the Shinkansen because I'm a bit of a train buff. Actually, work on a tourist railroad back home from time to time.
Nice. Well, the Shinkansen experience is amazing. I'll let you experience it. I won't try to describe it, but smooth and fast.
That'll be much different than getting coal soot on my shirt, that's for sure.
I can virtually guarantee you that you will have no coal soot from a Shinkansen ride. Stone comes up short of the rings, and so Team Suzuki is saying, well, that's a trap if we just leave it there, so just get rid of it. We're over on this side of the sheet, though, where we've had some misses. Some question about where to put the broom here.
Yes, coming in this direction, I'd be inclined to take even maybe a little bit less ice than this, not even give up the stone and just bring the heat.
And here is Yumi Suzuki bringing the heat.
That's how
nicely
you
done.
throw that turn. Absolutely. That's how you have to do that.
So they've finally figured out that side of the sheet. Very well thrown. Accepts the high five. Mio Fujimori. So nothing in play. 3 stones to come here on the 4th. Miyu Ueno. With the full house to draw to. This is a bit of a chance, Dave. You can kind of experiment, really. So you can draw it pretty much anywhere. Where do we want to see a path that we really haven't seen?
Yeah, I think that's very valuable. Sometimes you see people waste those throw-throughs or draws to nowhere that are just going away. Make your opponent throw a different thing. Maybe you learn something, and you might end up benefiting from a miss. Not that you're ever hoping for that, but it is part of the game.
Turn hit on the way here for Yumi Suzuki. I'd like to stick around this time and force the peel for a blank attempt, and she rolls right to the center. That's as good as you can make it. Very nice shot. Once more for the high five. Well deserved. Nice shot. So the blank attempt coming up. Miyu Ueno. Gonna have to roll 6 feet plus. Does Team Suzuki share a smile? Maybe making their New Year's plans, you never know. Last rock of end number 4, peel attempt. And that is executed absolutely perfectly. So it is a blank end on end number 4. We are halfway through this very important game, and we are deadlocked. Team Suzuki 2 and Team Ueno 2.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And cup noodle.
And welcome back to Miyota. We're live at the WCT Japan New Year Curling in Miyota 2024 tournament. Hans Roundup here. Along with Dave Schmel and Dave. Halfway through, a crucial game for both of these teams. Team Ueno win this one. They know they're straight to the semifinal. Team Suzuki win this one. They know they're in a tie-break situation and maybe have a chance to make that semifinal. It's been a very interesting game and really evenly poised here at the halfway point.
Absolutely. I'd agree with you, Hans, here. We've seen both teams feel themselves out, feel out the other team, see where they might have opportunities, and each were able to capitalize in it with a deuce. And they're probably talking with their coaches and trying to figure out how they're going to move forward now. With Ueno carrying the hammer here in the fifth, a big part of this discussion is going to be whether you're going to consider blanking here and trying to work with that. Now, Suzuki obviously knows that, so I would expect to see a few rocks in play here early.
New Year's Eve in Miyota. It's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, local time. Countdown to midnight. And we see in the background, in the warm room, the team is having a chat with their coaching and support staffs and probably having a snack. I'm always curious about the snacks, Dave. There we go. Here we go. There we go.
Here we go. What do we got?
We've got some energy drink there. Is that a banana? No, but there's a plastic bag full of stuff. I mean, that looks like peeled fruit to me. And there's a whole bag full there, right? I mean,
Yeah. Can somebody eat something already?
Yeah.
Is this maybe granola here? No. What?
Oh,
That looks
snacks
like
going back
cupcake.
in the bag.
That
No.
looks like cupcakes for a second there in the one bag.
Well, it is New Year's Eve, right? Why would you not have a cupcake? Okay.
Now our Japanese
commentator.
counterparts.
Yeah.
Yes,
Send
they
Tim
have a good
Hortons,
idea.
right?
Timmy Hose, yes, indeed.
Send donuts. Little chocolate donuts.
We're actually getting Tim Hortons not too far away from me right now, so that's going to be quite exciting.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
the greatest traffic jam creator in Canada, really.
Our curling family around here is all geeked out about having Timmy Hose close to the club now. Well, relatively close. 40 minutes, which compared to an hour and a half is now close.
Okay, very exciting. So, well, the athletes have healthy snacks. As the director says, come on, put the snacks away. Game's on again. Start talking. There you go. We're watching you guys. We're watching you guys. Well, it is New Year's Eve. Why not have a little bit of a party? So, back to the action. Second half of the game just about to get underway. Team Ueno has got last rock here in 5. Wherever you are in the world, we are very glad that you're with us. Help us celebrate this tournament, this game, and of course, the dawning of a new year. Mio Fujimori being asked to throw the guard. So just as you predicted, Dave. Guard stone early, and we're going to see some action, I think.
Absolutely. Bring it on. Looking forward to it. I now officially join you and the competitors on New Year's Eve, so I'll wear my little hat. I'll wear my little hat soon.
Fantastic. East coast of North America is ticked over past midnight, so we can say it's the 31st there now. And the 31st in Miyota for quite a while. This one is just going to tick that center guard going by, leaves it on the center line, so the no-tick zone doesn't come into play. The stones are accumulating. It's what we like to see.
Well, soon we're going to have to continue exchanging hair care tips.
Yeah, rinse and repeat, right? Like I said, it's a scam. I'm convinced of it.
That's got Procter and Gamble written all over it, or whoever your preferred hair shampoo provider is. Yes.
One pass with the hair gel seems like enough to me, but that's just me. Maybe I'm being cynical and I would want to be unfair to the hair care industry. Stones are piling up now in front of the rings. Bumps off the center line. It was their own stone, of course, so no problem with the no-tick zone rule there if you bump your own stone off the center line.
Now, the donut industry we fully support. Oh, here's a crafty little shot.
Yeah, just a little feather redirect. May have crept onto the rings, maybe not. Everybody's going to have a look. It's not on. It's mighty close. Easily splittable. There's a good look from the overhead. Looks off to me, but not by a lot.
Yeah, my vote's off. If it was on, I'd be hitting it, so I would definitely think it's off.
Team Ueno, of course, have last rock here in 5. So that is a bit of a dangerous rock to leave there. They can only see half of it, though. Now they're talking about coming around it. That would be mighty brave. Talking about hitting and rolling. Splitting their own stone. And here we see the impact of the 5 rock free guard zone, right?
Absolutely. That one extra rock, and now we have what's going to be an interesting end. I mean, I could sit down and draw up 10 different scenarios with how this end's going to play out, and they're pretty much all equally plausible right now.
Kyoka Kuramitsu. Looks like she's being asked to make a play down kind of onto her own guard stone and maybe tap it or split it. Trying to get something on the ring. Well, actually going to draw past it. Maybe going to feather going by. That's a tough split, but it's going to hang around, I think. Last little tweak might have taken it off the rings. It's one of those ones you want to know, though, if you're Team Ueno. Is it on or is it off? Shot rock is definitely wide open.
Absolutely. Might have to get the biter bar cold later in the end.
Oh, and that stone comes off.
Ooh.
Don't know if that was hit with the brush or if it picked, but the stone comes out of play. Nishimuro is puzzled, trying to wonder what happened there. Well, just the eyewear. She can't quite believe what she saw. You can see the underside of the rock being cleaned, so that tells us that that was a pick rather than a tap with the brush.
Yes, take another look at it. It definitely looks like it picked right about halfway down the sheet, right on the center line.
Well, that's unfortunate. It's part of our sport, but you hate to see it. Good opportunity for Team Suzuki to capitalize on that bit of misfortune. And apply some pressure here. A force would be outstanding for Team Suzuki if they could get that situation generated here in 5. Tapping that stone back, just past and through the button, back 4 foot. Closer to the center guard. Maybe hiding a corner. Could be a little port through there, but be awkward chase, but it looks like they're going to have a go.
Well, we're running that straighter side again. You see a pretty busy handle, and the broom's down the whole way here.
Fingers in the air. They're thinking it's a little heavier than they were hoping to throw, and that straight turn, as Dave said, winds up catching the top stone, pushes it across and behind that red stone, and so the red stones are going to hang around, so this is now almost certainly an end where somebody is going to score. No chance of trying to carry this out for a blank anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I think with that stone, what you see happening is just kind of gets in your head a little bit after you have a pick like that, and probably just try to make that delivery just a little bit more positive, just to make sure it had a nice pop on the release, and probably just juiced it just a touch.
I'd like this stone to sit high in the rings, but it's going to creep a little deeper than they'd like, biting 8 foot. Maybe lining up a double. Really tough to bury, coming that outturn side away from the glass, because it does run so straight. Good look from the overhead now. Nose on the top will make the pair. Ayuka Kanai. This one, though, again, drifting a wee bit wide. Does have a catcher out there on the wings, and slams into it. Well, that could become very useful.
Oh.
Now it gets very interesting.
That's certainly quite interesting there. That was not in one of the 10 scenarios I drew up.
Well, okay, go to the back of the book now. Drop another one.
Yeah, we're going to move to Roman numeral number 3.
Akigoto. Some real pressure on this shot now. If you don't hide a corner, if you leave a double back, then all of a sudden your opponent's got a really good chance for a 2, maybe a 3. This one is going to sit outside. Going to stand up beside the shot rock, and that's almost an automatic double, really. Great chance here for Team Ueno, and they're so close together, you could even still afford to hit it. Well, kind of either side, really. I was going to say you could hit it high side and spill over to the wing, but you could almost go across nose and maybe even clip the one at the back and maybe get a bit of cover the other way. Big shot here for Kanai. Lots of weight. There goes one, there goes two. And Team Ueno are lying two. You see that stone at the top of the rings, just off the rings. Potentially splittable. So Team Ueno have really got something going now in 5.
And that was a great job of ace reading by Team Ueno, because they actually took just a hair negative broom there and swept the stone into the straight spot to make the hit.
Kanai and Ueno sharing a smile. I said, yeah, we read that one pretty well, didn't we? Throw it well, read it well, you get a good result. So lots of pressure now on Yumi Suzuki. Really use a good roll here to try and turn the end around. Lots of cover if she can roll to get to it, but this is going to get to nose. So now the pendulum of opportunity swings back to Team Ueno. If they could ever get one to roll into that area. Look out. What you mentioned, Dave, on the prior shot, that they swept it back into the path to get to nose. When you're trying to get a roll like this, when you know that this side of the ice is straight, it's psychologically hard to kind of cut the brush down to the place that you kind of, your head knows that you need to throw it, but your eyes just can't quite believe it.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Hans. I was just about to comment that I think the proper broom placement is middle of the stone here. We'll see how it works out.
Looking for an inside roll. They are not going to get it. Playing that one a little bit more conservatively than I think we would have liked. They are lying two. No chance for a double takeout, but definitely a chance to roll behind the pile. They're saying to themselves, boy, that's straight. Thought it was going to move.
Yeah, I think she knows it too, though. You know, thinking, should have believed myself.
Yeah. Believe what you see. Crucial stone coming up here, though, for Suzuki. This is kind of a must-make roll. Otherwise, it's a pretty easy 2 for your opponent. Not laying a brush to it yet. Now they're making a bit of a move on it. Shifting gears, looking for an outside roll. They're not getting that right to the nose. So this will be, should be, fairly straightforward nose hit for 2. Miyu Ueno makes her way down. Still checking that stone on the edge of the 12-foot. Shouldn't be a factor. But they've seen this path enough times now to know. Brush in the center of the stone. If you throw it at the brush, should track straight there with positive weight.
Yeah, just nothing crazy. Just about a 10.5, 11-second rocks. You're gonna make it 99 times out of 100 right there.
Last rock on its way in end number 5. Miyu Ueno looking for the nose hit and looking for 2. Just keeping it clean, hands in the air, sweepers like it, and there it is, right to the beak. And that will be, well, 2, and they're going to take a long look at this stone at the top ring. Are they going to measure a biter? 2 for sure. So let's get those ones out of the real estate. And are they going to biter measure both of those stones?
Oh, wow, here we go then.
Interesting.
Well,
so that's why they were taking such a long look at the red stone. They're saying, is it going to outcount the yellow stone? Okay, well, let's have a look, shall we?
All right, let's get our votes in here from the chat. What do you
What do you
think,
think,
guys?
folks? Red, yellow, are either of them on the rings? They haven't gone for the biter stick, so let's make the assumption that both of those stones are touching the paint somehow. Now, where's it going to go?
I'm going yellow.
Okay. It's tough to read from that overhead angle, and now we'll get a little cozier. I'd be taking the mitts off, personally, if I'm doing the measure here. So first is who's closer, and then to me, it's like, are they actually on the rings? Even after a measure, if they're determining one's closer, if somebody's sitting there scoring, here, please take the measure away. I think you'd still bring the biter measure out because I'd want to be convinced that the thing is actually in play before he gave up a point. And I think that's what they're discussing right now. Yeah. Saying, yeah, that might be closer, but is it actually in the rings at all? Well, I thought we had no. Not often you get to use both measures, both measuring devices in a measure like this. Usually you get the biter stick out just to figure out if it's on. Okay, now the biter stick comes off. So we know the yellow one is closer, so Dave, you win that one. But is it on the rings? Is there a little squeak? Is there a spark? Can't quite tell if it's 2 or if it's 3. We're going to know when they put the score up on the scoreboard. They're kicking the stones away. Everybody's having a laugh. We know it's 2. It might be 3. We'll wait for the confirmation when they put the score up on that scoreboard. So that was a very entertaining measure. Measures are not usually that entertaining, but that one definitely was. So it's a multiple point end for Team Ueno, and here we come, and it is in fact a 2. So after all that measuring, it was off the rings. 2 points for Team Ueno. They take a 4-2 lead into end number 6.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
That stone?
And welcome back to Miyota, Hans Frauenlob, along with Dave Schmel. Glad you're with us with the WCT Japan New Year Curling in Miyota 2024. And in number 5, I think Dave and I were talking off air between the ends, and we've agreed that that was probably the most exciting and unusual measure we've ever seen. Not a situation, Dave. Well, credit to you, Dave. You said yellow was closer, and it absolutely was. So you won that competition. But after the measure, the biter stick came out, and even though the other one was closer, not close enough to hit the paint.
So I guess I'll cash in with a beverage, but it'll have to be non-alcoholic.
There you go. Miyu Fujimori. Well, that is a great question. And these competitions, of course, the players are generally looking after their own officiating, but that is an interesting kind of measuring protocol thing to think about. You've got 2 stones like that where you're not sure which is closer, and you're also not sure if either of them is actually on the rings. Which measuring device do you bring out first? Do you bring out the biter stick, or do you bring out the measuring stick? And Dave, I think you concluded, and I think I agree, you probably do get the measure first and then determine which of the 2 stones is closer, and then get the biter measure to figure out if it's on or not.
That's certainly not something that we were taught in officiating class.
There you go. So you see, every time you come to the curling rink, you see something for the first time. And there we saw it today. This one hits and spills. Will it stay in the rings? No, it's just going to creep out. That's what I love about our sport. There's always something new to learn.
Well, the one thing that they let you learn the hard way when you officiate curling is nothing can prepare you for how cold you will be.
Yes, being stationary for hours at a time, we are grateful, not just to the officials, but the ice techs and all the people that make this kind of competition possible. So a shout out and a salute to all of you, and our hearty thanks. The game would not be the game without you. Team Suzuki throwing that one to T-line. Don't think it's got protection. There we get a good look from the hack end. Pretty much wide open, a bit edge on edge. Junko Nishimoto. Had a stone pick up in the last end. Sure, she took a little bit of extra time cleaning the running surface before delivering this shot. And just squeaks it by the corner guard. Very well swept.
That was a very nervy shot for sure. Now, Team Suzuki, I mean, their end goal here, they certainly can need to score, but they certainly don't want to be forced here.
Junko's taken off the glasses and she had a smile of relief there, I think, after delivering that stone. Just got by that guard. Heading to the finishing line in this important game for both teams. It's the final game of their round robin. Team Ueno now with a 2-point lead. They know if they can close it out, they will advance to the semifinals tomorrow. Team Suzuki, if they want to keep their semifinal hopes alive, they've got to pull off the comeback and win this one.
Yeah, that last shot was just a little bit heavier than they would have liked. You need to either completely clear that out of the rings or leave it there as a catcher, and you did neither.
Mayuka Kenai. Going down this straighter in-turn path. Clockwise rotation. And Team Ueno lie 3.
But opportunity here with a well-made shot. If you can hit this, you can roll underneath the corner there, and there's a good view of it right there. And if you could roll underneath there, you'll possibly find a way to manufacture a deuce here. So, all opportunity not lost yet for Suzuki.
Akigoto also electing to play the in-turn. Looking for a little bit of an outside roll. Trying to flip behind that corner guard, but it overcurls and just gets to nose. Team Ueno just happy to trade hits here now.
And the big thing about this hit now is that the hit and roll back will no longer be shot stone. So that was really the one go at it that Suzuki was going to get there.
That's a very good point, Dave, and it will be interesting what the shot selection here is going to be. This one is going to wind up taking out their own stone. That was not in the flight plan. Or we just threw the wrong color, perhaps.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
was going to say, that didn't seem right. And that's why.
Well, I was checking myself there because,
Yep. Something ain't quite right, and that's kind of why. It does happen. So we've talked about the price of, hogging a stone being around for the team. What's the price for throwing the wrong color, Dave? Especially on New Year's Eve.
I would say, on New Year's Eve is definitely a beverage, but I guess you're gonna need to have
should be more.
Well, it needs to be some snacks, maybe some.
Yeah, I think so. Might be some bubbles, could be some champagne, some chocolate-covered strawberries, something like that. That's a big one.
Absolutely, or we'd probably be getting some wings and mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, that would be an option. Not sure if we're going to find them in Miyota, but we can have a look.
Now we can get some shrimp tempura then.
Yeah, that would work. So Team Ueno. Line 3 after the quick swap and replace of the misthrown stone. Well, that improves the situation markedly for Team Suzuki. Makes the double takeout, sits their own stone in front of the opponent's rock. And that could turn the end around. Nice shot.
So definitely a range of options here available. And how are you going to defend it now if you're Ueno? They're looking first at drawing behind those. And if you can get dead underneath of it, you possibly can set it up that you can't remove them both. You could split the house.
You could. You could split the house. You could try to play a little kind of tick graze on the red and bump yellow forward and spill your own off to the wing and get some separation that way. But there are no risk-free options here. And Dave, I'm not sure if you were with me on the game earlier on, but where I always say, a curling coach that we used to work with always used to say, if you can't think of anything better to do to generate offense, throw your stone in front of an opponent's stone. And you can see the effect here of this stone, the red stone being in front of the yellow stone. It's created all kinds of problems for Team Ueno.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's a common one you like to go back to, and I'm certainly going to use that some in my strategy and when I coach some of our younger curlers.
So it looks like after some discussion, they are going to play the come around. But after that nice double takeout in the roll, that's really changed the complexion of this end. Team Ueno was looking like a mortal lock to generate a freeze, or generate a force rather, but now they're going to have to scramble a little bit. And there is definitely a risk of dropping it too. And if you're a fan of Team Suzuki, they can get a pair here and tie it up. Their chances of victory go leaping much higher than they are right now. This stone comes into the back 8 foot. Now, who's out counting who is the question.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit deeper than they wanted, and it looks like red is sitting second there, Hans.
Sure does. And it's kind of almost automatic if you wanted to just off nose the top red now. Yellow will run back and pick off and double off.
And you should get some good separation on your own as well.
Exactly. You may not get too many chances to play this. We're running out of stones. We're down to skips rocks now. So for me, it's kind of now or never, really. If you're going to make that play, I think you play it now. And you could make a draw down to the back one and try to somehow hope for a miss and play for a 3, but that's really unnecessary now. You've got a great chance now to set up for a 2, but to do that, you have to deal with the yellow stone right now.
Right, and if you can set up that 2, you're scoring the 2 and 6, and you're setting up the classic force and score back and win the game.
Exactly. So you don't want to say it's lined up automatic, and there is a risk of a jam. There's enough gap between the red and the yellow that any drag effect would be negligible.
It's just a matter of making sure you take the right ice and throw in the correct weight here. Because if you throw a weight that's just quiet enough to make it, you're almost surely going to keep both the shooter and your own red. If you try to say, oh, I want to make those yellows go away, yellows are bad, and blast away and leave a contrail behind it, anything off the nose, you're going to, by much, you're going to lose one, if not both of your own stones.
No, I'm with you, Dave. I think saving the shooter is essential here. It's not bad if you're first and third after this one. You don't need to make the double takeout now. You could hit the red one brush side, flop the shooter into the 12-foot behind cover, and you still have a 2 and maybe a 3 alive that way. But you have to save your shooter here. Suzuki watching intently. Sweeping for curl. They do have contact. It will go past the stone in the back. But they do sit 1-3 in the top 2 stones. Double takeout is there. So nah, just missed it. Just missed it.
Yeah, sensing that missed opportunity there. Now it's very important that Ueno makes this double. I think you have to take it on. I don't really see another shot that's worth taking. If you wanted to steal, you certainly could, but But that's that brings unnecessary risk into play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's any percentage playing shot rock, and it's I was going to say madness to try a come around. You'd be risking dropping a 3 that way. Double takeout looks pretty natural, but they're taking a long time looking at shot rock here. I'm really surprised. I'm with you, Dave. Hit the top one all day, take the pair off. Probably get a force that way. You do give your opponent, of course, a chance to double in blank if you do make the double, but at this point of the end, you want to take 2 off the table for your opponent. If she winds up somehow blanking the end, then okay. But that's preferable, I think, to giving up the 2.
I'd argue it's almost a win.
Yeah. Shot's on its way for Miyu Ueno. Big weight. This one's wide, and it's going to jam. Is it going to have enough momentum to spill that red out of the rings? They're sweeping it, and they just get it out. Wow. Good thing she had that weight, because otherwise that was going to hang around. Got away with one there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew it was going to come with some mustard. It's just a matter of what they were going to do in that straight line, because wherever she set it off is where it was going to end up.
Yeah, that was kind of like the high temperature mustard, wasn't it? That wasn't the mild. That was the spicy stuff.
Yeah, that was that Dusseldorf mustard.
The Dusseldorf mustard, okay. That's the special turbo mustard. Last rock on its way here now then, and number 6. No chance for the 2 here. So I suspect it's an attempted blank. She looks a bit concerned, however, and that's why it's a nose hit. It's a nose hit I don't think she wanted. Single point for Team Suzuki. Team Ueno will take last rock into end number 7 here in Miyota with a 4-3 lead.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Asham Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at asham.com.
A trip to Karuizawa in the spring. Only takes 1 hour by Shinkansen to Karuizawa from Tokyo. You can enjoy abundant nature and various experiences. Visit Karuizawa.
We saw worse things from the birds.
And welcome back. It's New Year's Eve in Miyota, Japan. Team Suzuki, Team Ueno duking it out in this last round robin game. Semifinals tomorrow in the New Year Curling in Miyota 2024 tournament. Hans Raunab along with Dave Schmel. And an unwelcome nose hit for Team Suzuki and the inexpensive force for Team Ueno. Real chance here for Team Ueno to take a stranglehold here if they can come up with a multiple.
Yes, yeah, Hans, if you're looking at your end strategy here, if you score 2, you feel like you're a lock to win it. And you have a blank, that's a good scenario. Even getting forced isn't so bad because you're going to be up 2 without. So you're trying to avoid anything catastrophic here. And Suzuki is looking to make some catastrophes. So it should be interesting.
Fujimori with the corner freeze. Her opposite number, Yui Ueno. We'll try to follow it down and unlock those stones, I think. Maybe just a small bump. One more draw today in Miyota. So we're glad that you're with us, and do make sure that you come back for the final game of the round robin. And at the conclusion of the final draw tonight, we will know definitively who our semifinalists are. Real cluster of stones now in the front forefoot. And everybody's still smiling and having a good time. That's what I love to see.
Absolutely. And tonight's draw is going to have Kai Shishiya versus Delaney Strauss on sheet A, and Yui Ozeki versus Yoshimura on sheet B.
More great curling to come here from Miyota. Team Suzuki look to me like they are going all in here. Just happy to stack stones, freeze stones, do whatever they can. They feel like if they get scored on here, they're in trouble, so all out to steal.
I completely agree, Hans. This is going to be the game this end, most likely. If you're going to have a chance to win it, you're going to have to pull off a steal 1. And really, you need to try to find a way to generate steal 2. Because as we had discussed earlier this week, it's so tough to steal.
Exactly. Stealing itself is hard enough. Doing it twice in a row, extra hard.
So at this point, you just go all in and push as far as it is, because right now you're bleeding, so it doesn't matter if it's a flesh wound or an open gash. Right now, you just try to fix it somehow.
And I think they have arrived at what I think is probably the correct decision. We're out of camera shot right now, but I suspect, and there we go, picking off that guard. I think this is the play.
Absolutely. That long guard is never going to be their friend. They need to have access to that 4 foot, to that scoring zone. So bring the heat here and make the peel.
Lots and lots of weight. Junko Nishimuro gets the job done. Guard is gone. Now the 4 stones remain, but there is no protection short of the rings. Very nice shot. Glasses are back on again. Must be good to have that kind of vision where that's an option for you. Trying to replace the guard here, I think. Kuramitsu gets it just across that hog line.
Very, very high, but still peel it.
Yes, would you call that zone 1? Would you call it zone 0.5? Really very, very high. But in play. And another nice peel from Nishimuro. Very good execution from the second stone from Team Ueno.
And those are 2 solid stones they had to have there, because if there's ever going to be a crack to let Suzuki generate something, that was going to be it. They were hoping to get some kind of stick or jam or to leave the shooter, and they did a good job of making sure that didn't happen.
So once more to the well for Team Suzuki. Yakigoto now being asked to throw the guard. Sweeper's backing off it. So he's going to go a little bit deeper, I think. Zaki looks on. In fact, it comes into the rings and corner freezes, so that's kind of a really interesting angle here. Going to be very difficult for Team Ueno to move red without consequence.
Yeah, definitely the way they're lined up here and indicating possibly throwing a guard, but the way they're lined up, if they were to take a go at the top reds, they're going to lose their shot stone and possibly even the third shot rock. So a couple options here. They can either take a run at it with some weight and reshuffle the deck chairs. Another option, which you could call, is to throw a draw around and corner freeze, but they're going to take a timeout here and discuss it with a little bit more here.
Yeah, it's an important decision, absolutely. And what they do know now is that the way that the stones are lined up are really, really bad for them. Red makes the 2 yellows disappear all day long. So they're going to have to do something to change the angles. Problem for them, though, exactly as you said, Dave. You place some weight, change the angles. You maybe punch your shot stone out of shot rock position, or maybe you set up a double. So even though Team Ueno have got last shot, they're in a bit of jeopardy here. It's a good time to remind yourself. It's a bit of a coaching cliche, but what are we trying to do here? Is 1 okay? And if 1's okay, maybe that dictates your shot choice, and you sacrifice your 2 stones now in the name of getting at least one of those red stones out of a danger zone and not trying to unlock everything. Big call, though.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good option if you feel confident that you can dial in that 4 foot draw weight, because that is what it's going to come to if you go that route for sure. The other option would be throw maybe hack hack weight because you're going to be moving 4 rocks, and just kind of you could throw and promote your shot stone up just so much further, and you would still hold your other yellow in play, and then that would kind of force the hand of Suzuki to make a play at it.
Yeah, I just don't think they can leave that stone in the front 12 undisturbed. I think they have to do something with that now. For me, to be honest, I would just rip it. I mean, I would hit it hard, and I know in doing so that I'm going to leave my opponent lying too, and I might be lying third shot out in the wing, but I would take that in this situation, because right now they're really in some jeopardy. If they leave those stones angled and locked any longer in this end, they're not going to have another chance, I don't think, to unlock those stones if they don't do it now.
Well, the timeout's over here. They still have plenty of time on their time clock, in excess of 10 minutes here.
They're talking about playing softer weight. They are talking about unlocking stones, but I think they're worrying a bit too much about preserving where their shot rock is going to be. I mean, there's still 7 stones to come. If you're promoting yellow, the thing I wouldn't like if I'm Team Ueno, if you're going to push the yellow, I'd almost rather push it deep in the rings, like into the 8-foot, rather than try to keep it in the back of the 4-foot, because if you push it back in the 4-foot, you're just inviting Team Suzuki to bump freeze, and it can be something they can sit on. So if you're going to move stones, move them.
No, I think you make a good point. I mean, interested to see how this plays out moving forward, but we are just going to get the softer weight shot coming here.
Trying to change the angles and trying to preserve their own stones in the process. Red, yellow. Yellow does push back into the back 8-foot. That is not a bad result. The 2 reds are still absolutely lined up at the yellow. So they're still locked together. That represents danger because they're both overlapped and also lined up on the yellow rock. So the intrigue continues. What do you think, folks in the chat? What's your call? This is a tough situation, but it's a really good opportunity for Team Suzuki. 3 stones to come. You're trying to steal. And even though there's no guards up, I think they are in potentially a really excellent position now if they can make a good shot choice here and execute it well.
You see a lot of discussion revolving around corner freezing on their own up here, because if you did that and put it right there on the corner, any attempt to remove it looks like it's going to naturally jam onto the yellow catcher there in the side of the rings. So I think that's a really crafty call, actually.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, if you can get it there, although it looks like they've changed up the shot, but I'm with you. If you could keep the same angle as the 2 reds and then sit another one on top of it on that same straight line, then you're offering cover to the stone in the front of the 4-foot in the process. But I don't think that's the shot they've selected. So let's see what Akigoto has for us here. They might be trying to get that contact, but they might be trying to do that by hitting as opposed to freezing. This one is overcurling a fraction. Moves the yellow, leaves themselves lying 2, but they have set up, maybe not a triple takeout, but certainly a raised double takeout. That's what I didn't like about unlocking those stones, because they were lined up so nicely, and now with this angle change, Team Ueno can just hammer that top stone.
Yeah, all that granite locked together was really your friend if you're looking to steal there, and just feel like they put that opportunity aside there with that call.
Yeah, I never like unlocking overlapped stones in the front of the rings when I'm trying to steal. This one's going to overcurl, however. Pushes one of the reds, but jams. Opens up the center line, so I think that's a bit of a positive for Team Ueno. Remember, they've got hammer here in 7, 1 up. So their primary goal is scoring. Having stones off the center line now makes the path to the button a little bit more open for them. See the time clock in the background. Teams use the timeout already. 5:47 and counting. 7th end, plenty of time.
Would you ever consider just throwing a guard here?
Yeah, you could certainly throw a guard here. You could corner freeze the yellow and overlap it and cover the shot rock that way. But a guard is not a crazy call by any means. Leave her the angle red, yellow red run, and then use the guard yourself to draw around and try to steal. It's not a silly call at all. Suzuki watches intently. Just going to pick off the yellow and go across the top.
Ooh, that's unfortunate because I think he can clean up here pretty good now.
Very much so. Inside double is on, but again, with the premium being on scoring rather than scoring multiples, they're going to play the shot rock, and I think that's, although conservative, a sensible play in this situation.
Absolutely. That's why I really did like having thrown that guard, because it would leave you something for the next shot.
Exactly. So after those stones that were really clustered in mid-end unlock, it has simplified things considerably now for Team Ueno. Still got to make this, though. First stone of the end for Miyu Ueno. Gosh, she's gone blowing by it and picks off her own stone in the back ring. It's fortunate for them, sticks around for second shot, but that is a bad miss. So, Team Suzuki, what do you want? Are you content with a force, or are you all out for a steal? If you're content for a force, play the stone in the back, give her the open hit for the 1, go for your 3 coming home. If you're all out for the steal, got to play something different.
Well, it looks like that yellow in the back is at least edge on edge, and that's been so tricky coming down that direction. I don't know how gettable that is, actually.
No, I agree. I think if you made a play to the back stone, Dave, you'd have to be throwing just back 12-foot weight for precisely that reason. But you should be able to hold it straight if you did decide you wanted to play that shot.
So it looks like they're electing for a straight guard here, which I don't mind.
I don't mind that either. Yeah, it's one again, every shot you choose, you got to make it, right? So if you wind up half covering the guard and you give Miyu a shot for 2 and she converts, then might be lights out. So this is a must make, but it's a must make no matter what shot you choose in this situation. Trying to protect their shot. This one's going to come into the ring, so it's definitely not guarding. Now they're going to split, and that is not necessarily a bad result. Has it left flat enough? Well, they're not even looking at double takeout. They are just going to try and hit for their 1. And the way those rocks are staggered, Dave, I mean, this is not an automatic by any means.
Now, if you ever drift out just a touch, it's gonna be a steal. If you ever drift out, it could possibly also jam on your own back one and You could give up, might give up 2 if you're really unlucky.
So that one worked out pretty well for Yumi Suzuki. We're going to get a force at worst and maybe a chance to get a no-risk steal here. Miyu Ueno with a delicate shot in a very tricky path. Last stone on its way here on end number 7. Looking to get just across nose and roll in for her single point. There's the hit, there's the roll, but it's going to roll too far. It's going to be out of the forefoot, and it will be a steal of 1 for Team Suzuki. Well, well, well. Can't quite believe it. It overcurled, and it is a steal, and we are going to go to the 8th end, all tied up in Miyota. Suzuki 4, Ueno 4.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
匂い感じないですけど。
ハーブみたいな匂い。
もうほん。
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Hans Fraunlab here with Dave Schmel, and we are having a barn burner in Miyota on New Year's Eve. Yumi Suzuki and Miyu Ueno are deadlocked at 4 at a game that means so much to both teams. Team Ueno with a win can clinch a semifinal place, but Team Suzuki looking to complete the comeback, trying to steal end number 8, put themselves into a tie-breaking situation. So, drama aplenty on New Year's Eve, Dave.
Absolutely, Hans. We saw some interesting action, and rocks get drawn in the ring. Some strategy being exchanged, and some shots made, some half shots, and ended up being a steal there. So, and we're gonna have the rocks in play right off the go here, and not quite to the center line, but 2 guards up. So game on. Here we go.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Lead's doing a nice job of setting the table. Miyu Fujimori throwing up 2 center guards. Yumi Ueno has to throw her first rock into the ring, so Team Ueno, of course, not interested in guards whatsoever. And now we see the impact of not only the free guard zone, but the no-tick rule. Having to take a little bit of extra care to not clip the center guard, and that little extra bit of weight bumps and pops the shot stone into a little bit more accessible position. So it's really interesting, Dave, to see the impact of the evolution of the different rules in our sport. You know, first the 5 rock free guard zone, and now the no-tick rule really is having the impact, I think, that players and officials intended, in the sense of promoting more rock accumulation, but also it's actually altering some shot choices early in the ends.
Yeah, absolutely. There would be a time, very recently where you would think the 3-point lead was insurmountable, and now that's beat routinely.
So 5 rocks have been delivered. Free guard zone part of the end is over. 3 center guards up. So you know that Team Ueno is going to want to try to get rid of at least one of them. And they're trying to figure out, are the angles there for us to double clear? Can we go across the top? Which one is the most dangerous? These are always interesting discussions.
Yeah, I'm a big fan that Team Suzuki elected to throw another guard there. Too often you see teams come in a little bit too early, and you just need to steal one here. And it doesn't matter if it's the last one.
Now, here is a very, very interesting call. Tie game, 3 center guards up. You've got the hammer. Your stones are behind the center line, and you're choosing to ignore those guards completely and come around them. It's a brave call.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Exactly. Let's see how it turns out for them. It's going to curl into the top guard and chip it just onto the front ring. So now the center guards stacked up and overlap down the center line. Team Suzuki will be quite happy to see this. Junko Nishimuro looks on. It's like the dream scenario, really, for Team Suzuki. If you could have said 6 rocks into the end, the rock alignment looking like that, would you take it? Let's see, where can I order it?
Where can I order it, and is it eligible for Prime shipping?
Exactly. Can you get it to me fast? I really want it. Kyoka Kuramitsu. This one's well clear of the guards. But remember, there are those stones in the back ring. It's not going to curl to get to them, though. It's going to sit up on that center line, or the T-line, rather. It's not a stone you can ignore, though, if you're Team Ueno. It's definitely usable by Team Suzuki.
Yeah, it certainly it certainly poses an opportunity to get in there later on in the end if you ever had to play an angle to get into the button. But we just ignored a lot of rocks a moment ago, so looks like they are going to take this one on and try to come on in, but likely with the angle, you're going to possibly see a freeze come up next.
Nishimuro. There's some real concern on her face. It's going to catch it pretty thin. It's going to spill behind that T-line. It's going to go deep in the rings. So the real pocket of stones now gathering in the back ring. And this is the opportunity right here, right now. Taking a lot of stick, though.
Yeah, it is an awful lot of ice. I think I might have been inclined, if I was Suzuki, to not brush that behind the T-line, leave it up a little bit higher.
Akikoto. Miles clear of the guard. Well, second shot. Potentially usable still, but really that was a huge opportunity for them. I just didn't really like where they put the brush, to be honest, Dave. Just seemed like a ton of ice. I think you have to take some risk in that situation, that you're going to have to flirt with the guard.
Yeah, it's not to say that we're out of time yet, but we're starting to play the final numbers.
Great look from the delivery end there. Path to the button choked off on both turns. So this is really a situation. Who's going to get into the forefoot first? If you get there, it may be impossible to get you out. Ayuka Kanai taking her shot. Again, well clear of the guard. Better weight, however. And this is going to come to rest just in front of the tee line. Pretty good stone.
Now, I would like to come into that maybe with like a hack weight and just kind of chisel in underneath that whole pile there and force Ueno to make a play at it.
Another look on the replay. It was half a rock clear of the guard. So if Team Suzuki wants to follow it down, they would have to kind of flirt with guards, and the time clock is ticking. We got 3 rocks to play, so time is now very much becoming a factor for Team Suzuki. Don't want to have to rush things in the late going, but they have to make their choices and make them quickly now. They've elected not to follow this one down, and it seems like they're going to try to come up the straight path. Maybe chip their own forward. Maybe chip it across for a usable tap.
I think they're looking at the double tap.
Okay. Nakigoto. It's not too far away. There's 1. There's 2. How deep is it going to go? Had perfect line, but just too much weight pushes it into the back of the 8-foot. Man, oh man. So close to awesome. Just 6 feet too much weight.
It's a good effort at it, but I do believe that shot's going to be there again. So now they put in something in Ueno's thought that now that there's 2 shots they have to worry about. So what are you worried about more?
Yumi Suzuki looking on. Good look there. Shot rock. You can see half of it. But remember, it got there. It went around that center guard by about a half a rock width. So you do feel like you could squeeze another one in there with dead draw weight if you came close to the guard. So Team Ueno trying to take that shot away, I think, with this shot. It's certainly the path that I would be most worried about if I were them. It does take away that half rock path.
It certainly does.
I'm thinking you still might have to try it, though. The double raise now, the angles just aren't quite as good.
No, they aren't. It might have just taken it away. And even though you just had to practice run at it.
Yeah, it's tough. To me, I think if you're all into steel, or are they just banging yellow and going yellow, red, red, and just promoting things forward?
That's what it looks like.
Okay, well, this could work out. Need some contact first, though. Oh! Sails it by everything, just changes the angle, yellow, red. I don't think that helps them, though.
Well, if nothing else, it moves that yellow out of the way.
Well, that's true. It does at least open up a little bit more of the path into the 4-foot area. That's a very good point. So Team Ueno was saying, yeah, okay, guard it up.
Yeah, right there, even the yellow, just on the way in. It doesn't have to be shot, just needs to be in the way.
So we get a good look here while she's making her way down to the delivery end. What are the options here for Team Suzuki if the guard is made? Not many good ones, I'm afraid. Red, red, straight back up the center line. I don't think she can get across nose enough to make it anymore.
I'm wondering if you can ever play the center red into the into the shot stone.
Well, an enthralling finish here in Miyota. Deadlocked, and this one's going to go down to the wire. Crucial shot here for Ueno. Needs to get a guard into a place that Yumi Suzuki can't draw down into the shot rock area. This one's sitting wide, though. Maybe leaving a path. How much is it going to finish? I think it's still there. Yumi Suzuki's got a port now. She can draw down to the shot rock and get inside it, I think. I'd sure be playing it.
Oh, there's one shot and one shot only, and that's a draw all day here.
I think you basically just have to mentally ignore the thought of contact on the yellow and just play this like a straight draw to the button.
That's all it is. You practice this, you try both turns all through practice, all week. This is what you've been dialing in. Close your eyes and just imagine you're just trying to put it on the lid.
Remember, time is a factor. Not a great deal of time on their time clock. So they've made their discussion. The brush is going out into the 12-foot circle, and so this, I think, is the right call. They have to try the draw. They don't have to try the draw, but I think their greatest chance of stealing the game comes if they make the draw. To make, she's going to have to come very close to those two guards that are protecting the shot rock. And that's the gamble that they have to take in this situation. They must steal to win the game.
Absolutely. It's all about whether they chose the right broom and executing the shot. They took their time out, so they had plenty of time to throw it. So deep breath, settle yourself, and here we go.
Yumi Suzuki trying to thread the needle around the guards and get into that 4-foot area to try and set up a potential steal to win the game. Sweeping for curl. This one looks like it's got a fair bit of weight, and it's well by the guard. Is it going to curl enough? I'm not sure it will. No. Punches the yellow back, and that will do it. But wow, what an entertaining game it was. Miyu Ueno will not have to throw her final stone. Team Ueno scores 1 to clinch the victory, and they will advance into the semifinals. Congratulations to Team Ueno, but congratulations as well to Team Suzuki. What a comeback and what a fight they had. What an entertaining 8th end that was, and a fantastic, fantastic game in Miyota. Dave, any final thoughts? That was a barn burner.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you saw both of the teams having an interesting chance there in the end, and it was there. The opportunity was there for Suzuki to apply the pressure. Just couldn't come up with that draw there in the end, but a great effort by both squads, and best of luck for them going forward.
So confirmation, it was a score of 2 in the end. So a final score, Team Ueno 6, Team Suzuki 4. For Dave Schmel, I'm Hans Frauenthal. Thank you very much. One more draw to come today from Miyota on New Year's Eve. Thank you for joining us. Join us again later tonight for the final draw today from Miyota.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.